Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, yeah. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. The Daps and Pounds show. This is the Daps and Pounds show. Yeah, you know.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Hey, going. Oh my goodness! I thought I had to sneeze so bad. What's up, guys? How are you doing? It is episode 38? 39. Episode 39 of the Daps and Pound Show, the best arm podcast in the world. My name is Malky. To my left, we have...
Dobby.
We represent two mics.
Two friends.
And one show.
The Daps and Pound Show.
Pound it out. Woo!
Yes.
How are we doing today?
I mean, we're out here, man. It's a rainy day, but we're here.
Rainy
we're live
day.
in a
Full effect.
Full effect. I
Full
was like,
effect.
we're live in effect, and I was like, that's not it.
Almost, though. Almost. Guys, we thank you so much for tuning in every week. Make sure you go to YouTube and like and comment and subscribe. Where can they find us on the socials?
You can find us on Daps_Pounds on Instagram and Twitter. Dappies out there, come on, show us some love. Let us know. You know, hit us up. Talk to us. Shout out to Tanner for asking us our thoughts on the Taylor Swift single, the new one that came out. Those are the kind of questions that we're looking for, and we'll bring you up on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you can find us. Again, Daps_Pounds, Twitter and Instagram.
Heck yeah. If you have never tuned into this show before, something that we really like to do is good, bad. This is just your way to kind of get in touch and see what we've been what's going on in our lives. So good, bad, here we go. Bad for me is LSU lost. They're now 6-3. It was a hard-fought game. Alabama never runs up the score on us other than the title game a few years ago when we didn't score any points. But other than that, usually we have a hard-fought game against Bama. This was 10-24, so they didn't blow us out of the water, but we lost 6-3. And I think at the beginning of the season, people said this is a 9-4 type of year for us. And so far we're 6-3, so I'm hoping that we win out and that we don't lose any more games, just to help the brunt of losing to Troy, which is so stupid. Like, the thing about if we had that Troy loss back, then we would be 6-2 right now, 7-2 right now instead of 6-3, and that would have helped a lot. But Alabama's great. The other side of that football is really hard to beat. So that sucks that we lost, but at the same time, it's just hard. We have a lot of young guys. DJ Chark only had 53 total yards of offense. The game previous, he had over 120. So it's like, when you limit us, man, we can't do much. But I'm proud of our defense for holding as much as they did. So go Tigers still. Good. I will say good. Let's see. Good. I didn't really think about good. Nothing's bad. Nothing's really bad. And life is good. I have no complaints, really. I'll say good. We saw Thor last night. Thor 3. Thor Ragnarok. Is that? Yeah, Ragnarok. We saw that in theaters last night. Opening weekend was this weekend. So that was a lot of fun. Very fun movie. If you want to laugh and enjoy a movie and just kind of like leave the outside world, then this is a great movie to kind of immerse yourself in.
For sure.
So yeah, that's a good and bad. I liked it. It was good. What about you, Shouty?
Almost exactly what you said. Bad. Gamecocks lost. We're now 6-3. Hard-fought game. Like, it's literally the exact same thing.
Same thing.
Georgia usually doesn't run up the score on us, but, we did what we could.
Yeah.
I mean, so Georgia was the number one ranked team. South Carolina's team is just beat up. Like, we lost our number one wide receiver, who was considered in the first two games a Heisman candidate by his total yardage and reception. 2 games he had 5 TDs and like 300 yards of offense. Like,
savagery.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then he broke his fibula. And then we lost our best running back. He broke his fibula. We had another huge like tight end who's got hands like Evan Ingram for the Giants. He broke his fibula. Like, we were like, what is going on?
A lot of fibulas.
It's ridiculous. And we also lost our best, our starting linebacker due to season-ending surgery to his shoulder for like nerve damage. So like our team just wasn't 100%. Georgia is stacked and no one's hurt. Like, they're just stacked. Easton was hurt, and they're like, you know what? We're going to keep our rookie QB in because he hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
So I was happy, though. It was actually 7-14 at the half. And, oh, my gosh, there's just so many little plays because I was able to watch the game. Like, one, the touchdown for Georgia there was a holding call that was not called. Like, the jersey, I saw the pictures of it. The jersey was grabbed. Like, legit tugged. You can see it. And no holding call on that. There was a touchdown call from Georgia that a lot of people consider a little bit controversial because if you look at the replay, a replay in the booth says it has to be conclusive evidence. Like, you can't have a shred of doubt about it, right? To overturn the call. The call on the field was an incomplete pass. They said it was a touchdown. However, if you look at the video, you can't specifically see if his toe is behind the line or not because of the shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
Even when you zoom in. And so that wasn't conclusive in my opinion. So they gave him that TD. There was a moment where Brian Edwards running up the middle of the field wide open so that we would be 14-14 before the end of the half. And just a lineman clips Bentley's arm. Oh my gosh. It was just like so many little things. Like the game... Georgia was sweating that game. I don't care what anybody says. Like, they only scored 24 points on us. So they scored 3 touchdowns and then they kicked a field goal. Like, think about that. Georgia had 21 points with 10 minutes left, I think, in the first quarter against Florida. First quarter. So our team's good. And even Kirby Smart, the coach for Georgia, said, honestly, like, we got outplayed. However, our running backs, we just have more talented players.
Yeah.
He says overall we got outplayed. And so Muschamp, I think he's building something that's going to be great. He just needs a little bit while. I mean, people forget 2 years ago this team was 3 wins. 3 wins. And we lost to a Division II team. Now he went to 6 wins, and now we're already at 6. So we're 6-3. We lost to the number 1 team in the country. I mean... It is what it is. It was a fighting chance. So it just sucks because there was a couple times we could have upset them. But it is what it is. And we're going to play Florida, who got stomped by Missouri, who was the last in the SEC. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense. So that was a bad. Good. College basketball is about to start soon.
Yep.
November 10th, I think, is when the season starts. So that's awesome. NBA has been crazy so far. It's only the beginning of the season, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. LeBron James is a freak of nature. I mean, he just is. Let's see here. What else was good? Thor was awesome. I liked Thor a lot. I thought it was a really funny movie. Maybe we'll go into a more in-depth review of it. We finished Stranger Things, which is going to be a topic of discussion for us.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And bad. I hate this kind of rainy weather personally. It's starting to get cold, and I just can't stand that. So I would say that's a bad. But other than that, man, things are going pretty good. And I mean, my grandfather passed away, so that's sad. But at the same time, like, we know where he's at, so there's peace in that. So my parents are going to Maine. I just can't afford to do that for as long as they're going up there with work and everything. So we'll be staying here. But rest in peace, grandfather. He was awesome. I always picture him in heaven right now, like eating Jelly Bellies. Like, dude, he loved Jelly Bellies. So like he's having the time of his life now. So it's so cool that he told my grandma before he passed away. He's like, "Don't worry, Donna. It's only gonna be a couple days." Like, he just had that mindset. So and I think he was ready because apparently it was like right after my grandma finally got like everything out of the house and into the new place. Mm-hmm. So it's like my grandfather was like just waiting just to make sure, like, okay, we good? all right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. So, but that's rough. But I think my family's doing all right. My grandma, she's in there. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with that situation. So, yeah, that was tough. But,
Well, prayers always, man.
for
I
sure.
understand. I've been there. So definitely all the love in the world. All the love in the world.
No doubt.
It's a crazy, it was a crazy college football day in general yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Ohio State got beat by Iowa.
Yeah.
Penn State lost to, who was it again? Michigan State.
Yeah.
Oklahoma beat Oklahoma State.
Yep.
And so
Miami.
I think
Miami won.
the playoff came out. It's number 1's Alabama.
Yep.
Number 2 is Georgia. 3 is Notre Dame. 4 is Clemson. 5 is Oklahoma.
Yep.
So, and North Carolina State could have beat Clemson, but they didn't. So, boo.
Come on, North Carolina State. What you doing?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Dude, we're going to go down there and we're going to watch South Carolina ruin playoff hopes for Clemson, and I'm going to just eat it up.
Yo, bro, if you guys beat Clemson, the level of hype you will be like, it's not even, you may faint. You may just like get so excited and not
Dude,
know
I
what
know.
to do and just be so chill and like,
Dude, I'm storming the field. I'll my grandparents, like, I'll figure out, I'll Uber home. I'm storming the field.
oh my gosh. I hope that happens. That would be funny.
So, I just leave Mary and my grandparents, I'm gone. Like,
I know
she
what's
turns
crazy
it
is I can see you doing it. You're totally the type to just start hopping over stuff and like dip down the field. That would be awesome. Guys, we are going to get to our new music. We have so much to kind of cover, actually. A lot of random things that came out. And this was like a lot of new music week that we didn't really expect it to be a lot of new music. So couldn't get to everything, but the stuff that we did get to, we found some quality stuff. We'll start back last week because we technically couldn't talk about it. 40...
Yo, I didn't finish.
45 songs.
I couldn't do it.
45 songs of your boy. Chris Brown, Heartbreak on a Full Moon, dropped on Halloween. Now, previous to this drop,
This album cover is terrible.
it's kind of weird.
I hate
It looks like a lot of people could do it. I could probably do it. And I'm not a drawer at all, or someone who draws. But before this album came out, his Instagram had instructions on how to like listen to songs, instructions on how to purchase songs so that they could get the most credit in the world. It turns out that's because he released it on a Tuesday, so he only gets credit for 3 days as far as record sales go. So when you see, okay, so basically the 21 Savage and Metro Boomin and Offset album outsold Chris Brown the first week, but it's because they released on a Friday and had a full week's worth of record sales, and Chris is upset with the way RAA is doing things and how the streaming counts now because he released on a Tuesday and only got credit for 3 days.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he did it because it's Heartbreak on a Full Moon and he dropped it on Halloween. He was trying to make a moment, but you have to know that when you try to be too much, like, it's just...
Well, just accept the moment then. You didn't want the sales. You wanted the moment.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like,
so, I mean, it's just funny that his team puts forth so much effort beforehand trying to, like, tell people how to purchase so that they get a full week, and they still didn't get a full week. But shout out to Chris Brown, because I will say there are some songs on this that I do like. Are there 10 songs on here that I like? No. And if an average album is 10 to 13 songs, 9 to 13 songs, if you're Adele, she's only putting out, she's charging people $10 for like 8-9 song albums. She's out here. But like, if you are putting out 9 to 13 songs on average, it's the average amount of songs on one album, and you don't have 10 great songs on a 45 song album, then that should tell you, like, you were pretty much trying to create a playlist for streams. That's what you were trying to do. And to me, there's a lot of songs that are only like 2-minute and change songs that were just like tracks that weren't finished yet that he threw a chorus on and like mixed and then put them out there. Like, there's a lot of songs that like there's one verse, a long bridge, and a long chorus, and then you're out of there. So you can almost hear the difference in the songs that are like thought out two verses, like whole songs that are meant for like, oh, these could potentially get radio play, like Handle It with Dej Loaf and Lil Yachty. I know he's probably going to put that on the radio. He's probably going to try to push that as a single. There are like 6 singles he's released off of this so far. I can see him trying to do Janae Aiko and R. Kelly, Juicy Booty. That's a song title for sure. Out there. So, I mean, it's 2 hours and 38 minutes long. If you have the mind to sit there and get through it and really analyze it, more power to you. I was not able to.
Full of bangers.
It's full.
Some people love it.
It's full of vibes. There are people who really love it, and I'm not one of those people. I don't think that there are tons of hits on here. Like Party that he put out a really long time ago is on this. It's featuring Usher and Gucci Mane. I think that can be comparable to a hit. I think that it gets played. My mom was listening to the local radio station here in Peoria, and that was on the radio. And I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to local. So, like, it's hard for me to gauge, like, what's getting a radio play sometimes. And I heard it. I was like, oh, he got a radio song.
I feel like it's because his highs were so high.
Yeah, I think so, too.
He's got some songs that are just so up there that are so great, and so like that's the Chris Brown you're hoping for all the time.
Yeah,
and he just hasn't delivered those. Besides the last one with the Aaliyah sample, to me that was his last like great song.
That song was amazing. That song was so good. He's got like Tell Me What to Do. I love that song on this. That song I actually have gone back to. There's the Hope You Do song wherever it is up here. I'm scrolling a lot just to try to find it.
45 tracks.
Yeah, Hope You Do. I like that song. I like the Party song. That's the single. There's songs on here. There's probably 6 or so songs that I do like, and I probably will go back to. But that still leaves 38 odd songs that like I'm never gonna go back to again. So shout out to Chris Brown for trying something. This is not the end of his career. It's nothing like that. But he tried something. A lot of people always want people to do something different, so I commend him for at least doing that. If you have the time and if you can do it, Heartbreak on a Full Moon by Chris Brown. This may be something that some people can like turn on while they clean all day and like get through it and be like, oh, I like it. But they won't necessarily be able to tell you what song they like. They'll just be like, oh, it had a good vibe, or this section, song 40 through whatever, was good. So to me, I look at it just like that. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Moving on to the stuff that was released kind of this week, though. There was a bunch of stuff. Ooh, Tyus released the EP. Or is this the old one? Phases?
No, that's new. I didn't even know about that one. I didn't even
know that. That's one I gotta go back and listen to.
I'm gonna definitely listen to that one.
It's called Phases EP. So
I did not know that.
I didn't either. Like I said,
I would have immediately listened to that.
There was a lot of stuff that came out this week. So Kygo, he dropped Kids in Love. There's only like 2 songs on it that I really like. I like the Stranger Things song with Ryan Tedder from One Republic. That's a good one from Kygo. I didn't listen to Shawn Mendes MTV Unplugged because it's just songs I've heard before, just live.
Acoustic, yeah.
Trillium 3, Aha Gazelle. This is someone that we've talked about for a long time now. He's a part of Reach Records with Lecrae and Andy Mineo and that whole crew. This is Trillium 3. I really enjoyed this project. Mm-hmm. Listened to Boot Camp, maybe that was like a week ago for the first time, and I liked it a lot. Back in My Bag,
I still like that song a
lot. 2 weeks ago, I think, 3 weeks ago. It was really good as well. I can tell that he is trying to push. He's trying to grow on this, and I like how confident he sounds in his music. There's some really good songs on here. Apology to Roni.
That song's crazy.
I love that song. It's towards the end. It's the second to the last song.
Ejection was good too.
Ejection was great. Boot Camp is still great.
Gold Medals was pretty dope.
I like Gold Medals.
I got to go back and listen to it again because first listen to it, I think right off the bat, I feel like I like Trill I Am 2.
I do too.
Trill I Am 2 had some hits to it. But The crazy thing about this project so far is Trillium 1, 2, and 3, he said were not an accident. It has been a very purposeful, driven series that goes all the way back to Free Barabbas with this character he calls BMO. So like this project that he's talking about, if you listen from the beginning to the end, it's actually about this person called BMO. Everybody on Twitter is trying to figure out who BMO is and like where does this come from, stuff like that. And I even tweeted out a section and Aha retweeted it, and then his manager retweeted it saying like BMO seems like this character that white society wants black people to be. Because if you listen to, you know, say your manners and remember your LYs, remember that one song in like, was it 1 or 2 or something like that? And then you go all the way to 3. I think that was in 1. And then you go to 3, BMO's dead. And all black party, not all white party, all black party, Aha is really getting into the struggles of black society and black culture and how, I mean, he gets a little gritty. There are some white people that are like really mad about what he said about
and even if you listen to all white party, like when you really, and I think this sheds light on it. I think you're at 100% right. When you listen to all black party and like then go back and listen to all white party, you're like, oh. Because he's saying, like, will you let me into your all-white party? You know, like, this is what I have to do to get into your all-white party.
Exactly.
So it's very interesting. I like it, though.
And but he said he's really thinking about just doing, like, a whole breakdown of it all. And to me, that's what I'm excited about this artist. And I think this is why Lecrae said he's a creative genius. Lecrae himself said this about Aha. Because I think he produces, he writes, he mixes, and he's not accidental with anything that he's been putting out. But I think if people are looking for somebody fresh, and Aha does have his like own like style, it feels like, you know? Like I don't feel like he's with a certain genre. And I know really he would love to hear that because like we listened to Duckworth, we listened to Amine, and you know that's like a new blend, but he doesn't fit into those. But he doesn't fit into like anything else that's being put out really either.
Miss Info is a she started out as a magazine writer for The Source and blogger and vlogger and all that. And she's kind of like a news outlet for hip hop. And she tweeted the album and she said this is the most different thing I've heard in years. And like I think that there's a lot of people that are at that point with Aha. Like I could tell by her tweet that she hasn't like listened to tons of things from him, but like when you just take a piece of it, you go, this is really different. And you don't necessarily know how to feel. You know it's not bad, but you're like, I don't know if I'm like a fan or not.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people are right there. And I think that he's like one song away from really just going there.
Sauce All On Me was that song.
Sauce All On Me is great.
Sauce All On Me.
For me, Supreme was that song because I was in that place. Dobie was on this guy before me, and I was just like, I liked it, but I was like, it's not bad. Dude, I don't know how to feel. Nuts. Then I heard Supreme, and I was like, all right, I'm in. Like, I got it. I get it. I see exactly what you're trying to do. Let's go. And I think a lot of people are at that level. He's one song away from convincing everyone. Go get it, man. Yeah. Go get it.
And I think I like him too in the sense that he mixes really well of sharing his faith and his stance with faith, but also just being who he is.
Yeah.
You know, even if he feels like it's a personal struggle and some Christians might disagree with it, he'll share that with you. And I mean, I'm excited. I got to go back now and listen to like 1, 2, 3, like together.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm really interested now to going back to like all white. Well, and the Trillium 1 had something too. It wasn't all white party. I forget what it was. It was.
So Trillium 1 had all white party.
Okay, Trillium 1 had all white party. All gold party.
All gold party.
All gold party and then all black party.
And if I'm not mistaken, all gold party was like once you're into the all-white party, this is the fame and success you get. I think I have to go back and listen to it.
So it's interesting. If you guys want to check it out, you can follow Aha Gazelle. He's retweeting a lot of different things. He's giving people hints and stuff. But I think it shows the level of artistry when you have somebody who takes it to this next step. And honestly, that grows your fan base because now you're going to have people on your next project. They're digging in. Like, what's he going to do next? And it just adds another element and a layer of depth to your music. So shout out to Aha Gazelle. The Daps and Pound Show is a big fan of you. Keep going strong.
I was trying to find the Duckworth artist that we were just talking about, but he's not on the brow, so might have to search for him. But guys, Dobie found this artist, and his name is Duckworth. Do you remember what it was called?
It's like the Ugly Mixtape.
The Ugly Mixtape.
He's got like a Daft Punk helmet on. It's DUCKWRTH.
Let's see.
So while he looks that up, ladies and gentlemen, of course we always try to just see what's out there. We want to listen to as much music as possible, especially the popular ones. But at the same time, we wanted to shine some light to projects that maybe you might skip.
Okay.
This project, I said, I'm just going to listen to it on a whim. And I was pleasantly surprised.
It's called the An Extra Ugly Mixtape, and it is Amine and Rory and a bunch of like artists like that kind of mixed together. And I heard Kendrick vibes, not necessarily Kendrick cadence, but some Kendrick vibes as far as content matter goes. This is very different. I like this. And
the Bummer $2 song is,
that song's hard.
Especially the $2 part. Backyard Miracles.
Yep.
Backyard Miracles goes so hard.
Yep.
This whole project is just, it takes you places.
Yeah.
Like on a journey. So many different sounds, so many different vibes. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I was really glad I came across this project.
I like this a lot. I just wanted to take a moment and not forget that because I really like that project. It was dope. I really like the Grace Vanderwall project too. So Grace Vanderwall, she's considered indie pop in my head, but she's listed as pop on iTunes. If you want something that you can just listen to and it's like sunny day music, you could even listen to it when rainy at a coffee shop. This is it. This is very light stuff.
That's her?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The America's Got Talent girl, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was her.
Yeah, dude. She this is like she has something. Like
is she next?
She has it. Like I can see her being the next Sia, the next like she has something for sure.
Yeah.
She has something for sure.
Her age and then her writing style.
Oh, completely different. Like she writes old.
Well,
like
Know My Name, that song that she performed for America's Got Talent, like anybody can understand what that song's about.
yeah.
But positive, you liked it?
I liked it personally.
Really?
I'm telling you, it's called Just the Beginning.
Okay.
I liked it. I'm a fan. I liked it.
Good for you, Grace. You go,
Good for
girl.
you, Grace. So
You go, girl.
Maroon 5, they dropped Red Pill Blues.
Red Pill Blues. I tell you what, for a band, they grind.
Oh, they grind for sure.
Like
They grind for sure. They dropped a lot of 6 albums.
yeah, they're out here.
Whew.
They've had at least one hit on every album too.
That's true. And I'm just looking at the last like the albums that I love. My two favorite albums from them ever
Hands All Over.
are Hands All Over and Songs About Jane.
Yeah.
Songs About Jane came at a time that it was just
Perfect.
just so good. Sunday Morning
Yeah.
is still one of the best songs ever. Great stuff. Hands All Over is so hard.
Yeah.
People don't talk about Hands All Over enough. They always talk about Songs About Jane, but Hands All Over to me was the last album that was great. Now, in every album since, they have something.
Yeah.
Like you said, they have a hit. On this album, they have Lunch Money Lewis, ASAP, SZA, Kendrick, Future. It was very like, let's stay close to the hip hop and pop
reggae.
at the same time. And reggae, too. They went there.
A lot of reggae tones.
And what was the one song that Drake
Okay.
should have been on?
Drake should have been on, was it? I think it was Bet My Heart.
Yeah, I think so too.
It would would I lose if I bet my heart on you? I'm telling you,
I can
it
see
had
Drake on that,
such
yeah.
Drake vibes.
I can see it. I can see it.
could have just done that twist to it, and it would have been a smash hit for
I can
Drake.
see it.
And that just shows sometimes it's about who is singing the song.
Yeah.
And Bet My Heart, just because people like that side of Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like that he just could have added one rap verse to it, that chorus. I'm telling you, it has everything it needs.
I'm curious to know how long Maroon 5 is going to keep going, just because this is their 6th album, and I'm always disappointed that I don't have the same like whole great albums that they are capable of, but I think their era of being able to do that is kind of over. Plastic Rose is my favorite song, along with What Lovers Do with SZA, but other than that,
Girls Like You.
yeah, Girls
I don't
Like
know
You is
why I
pretty
really
good.
like that song.
So yeah, if you're into Maroon 5, I feel like every album they change a little bit.
Yeah, they grow.
If you're into Maroon 5, give them a chance. It's called Red Pill Blues, and it's available now. Without Warning dropped on Halloween 2, along with Chris Brown. Like I said, first week sales, it's actually gonna outsell the Chris Brown because it had a full 5 weeks. Now, there's no hits on this.
By the way,
this is a street what?
I bought the Metro Boomin. So on his website,
Yeah.
it was like an impulse buy, but I was like, it reminded me of this one moment. So it was like poster signed by Offset, Metro Boomin, and 21 Savage for $10.
Really?
I was like, what? Word? Like that's it? And he just posted it, so it's like one of those things where you're thinking, how long is this gonna last?
Yeah.
And you remember that time where we could have gotten all 3 of Drake's mixtapes signed
Oh yes,
for $40,
yes,
and we didn't do it.
Yes, I remember now.
And then on MySpace, they sold out when I went to go do it.
now.
So I thought to myself, you know what? Screw it. This cover to me goes hard. And I was like, why not? It's
I
time,
remember
you know?
now. I remember now. That's funny. That's funny. I don't blame you though. I would have done it. I think Offset can rap, guys. There's times on this where he's rapping fast and like it sounds good.
Dude,
21's 21.
21 has. Remember, I told you I don't like 21.
Yeah.
I can't say that anymore.
Yeah, there's something about him. I love his interviews more than his music.
His
his
interviews
interviews,
are good.
bro, like he's actually smart. Like
Yeah.
he talks like very broken, but like the stuff that's in his mind actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
21. Metro Boomin with the beats. This is a street EP project, whatever you want to call it. This is not going to, produce any crazy hits unless the streets like make it. But yeah, Ric Flair Drip is my favorite song.
Ric Flair,
Run Up the
Ghostface
Racks.
Killers, Run Up the Racks.
Run Up the Racks is hard. So yeah, this is kind of just like a
Nightmare
street
was
thing.
stupid.
Yeah, Nightmares.
I don't like that.
I'm
song.
right there.
I understand with the concept, which was kind of cool, but
Yeah. Shout out to Metro though. He's working.
Woman wants some
He's
more.
working. The thrill of it all. So me and Dobie talked before this. This was a disappointing album for you. And
I mean, I said logically, it doesn't make sense. Like I should like this album.
well,
I got bored.
I will say, if I'm being critical of this album, I do think his first album was better than this. I don't know if it was just the timing and like we hadn't really had anything like that before or what it was, but I don't think this album is as good as his first album. It might just be that album might not ever be surpassed by him.
Well,
But there were some good songs.
No Peace was my favorite song.
I like No Peace. I do like that song. I like Burning. I like Too Good at Goodbyes, which is the first lead single that he put out
Yeah,
about
that's
a
a good
month
one.
ago. And I like Scars. Everything else is just like Sam Smith. And Sam Smith's voice is so heavenly that it's hard to say like this sucks. But I think when you have such a crazy voice, it's hard. Like you will get exposed if you can't come up with like awesome song ideas. And I think that's why it takes so long for Adele to put out albums. She'll take a break and go live life because you can't, when your voice is that great, it's like you really have to find the right song. That's why she brings in Zane Lowe and Bruno Mars and people to like help her write, because like it takes an army to like really do an Adele type of thing, I think.
Yeah.
I think Sam Smith is kind of learning that lesson on this song, where he had Zane Lowe, he had a bunch of people help write on the first album, and on this one, he's even said it was like him and a couple people that wrote this, and I think it's hard when you don't have a bunch of people. And it's so different, like when you talk about hip hop and singing, how like that's like shunned, but like in these situations, it's good. Like you can have a voice be the voice, and then have a team of writers to help that voice push out the best possible product.
Yeah.
And I think that on the first album, he had more of those songs, and on this, there's just not as many. But overall, I do like this. My mom has been playing it nonstop. She loves Sam Smith. I cannot forget, like years ago when I was driving with her, and this was on, and she was like, "I like this. Is this new?" I was like, "Yeah, you know he's white." She goes, "What?" I was like, "And he's gay." And she was like, "What?"
What?
She saw him on like Ellen or something. After that, she's been the biggest fan of her. So, shouts to Sam Smith. The Thrill of It All is out now, guys. That wraps up our new.
Oh.
Wait, did we
I
miss
actually
something?
listened to Joji. So believe it or not, Joji, far right, top.
Oh, okay. In Tongues EP is what's called.
Yeah, he's actually like an
wow, this
internet.
looks interesting.
He's actually like an internet troll, and he did like music for like fun, like stupid music, and then he decided to kind of like make it more serious. And for like a first serious project, like it's respectful. Like you can see like he's got the ability to like take it further. I feel like the EP has every tone is the same, so it kind of like all blends into each other. But if some people are like, you know, you need music for like to hit that mood that you're in, just because there's like something about it. And I feel like he was kind of in that mood. Like the first 4 songs are like really good. I felt like the last 2 were kind of like, I don't feel like number 5 like even needed to be on the project personally.
Okay.
But anyways, I just want to give him a little shine, like because he's just an internet troll, and then he's putting out something serious, and I'm like, good for you. That means like you're growing as a person. You know, that's how he was being creative back then, and now, you know, he's trying something new.
Well, shout out to you, Joji. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Joji.
I went back to that Big Crit album though. It's super hard. So if you haven't listened to the
Big
Crit album
Crit's-
that we talked about last week, make sure you
Crit's awesome.
He's that guy. Guys, that is the end of our new music segment.
No.
Am I missing something
Yeah,
else?
Loosey Gooseys.
Loosey Goosey. What am I doing?
Dude, what are you doing today?
Tripping out. My
Come on,
bad.
man.
My bad.
Call it what you want, Taylor Swift. I thought it was definitely her best single so far. However, I am still very worried about this album. Even though, I will say this, Look What You Made Me Do is on the radio now. Like, and people say it, you know, it's there. So, congratulations, Taylor, you did that part for you. I still think this album is going to be her worst album that she has put out. And then she'll come back better with the next album. But I'm not going back to the song, but it is better than the other ones.
So in contrast for me, I think Look What You Made Me Do is better than this one. But
Really?
Yeah, just for catchiness sake, I hate to acknowledge anything that my friend Brandon says. But I've had debates with him over Drake and over... Basically, he says that like once you reach a certain level and you put out an album and your fans know an album's like upcoming, they're gonna go buy it regardless. So it's gonna get radio play regardless, whether it's good or not. And I have to say that I think that that's what's gonna happen with Taylor. It's gonna go platinum. It's gonna be all that. But for those that are really listening to the music, I don't think this.
I don't think it's gonna be
good.
long. The longevity's not gonna be there.
Right.
There was a longevity for 1980.
Like Katy Perry bombed because Katy Perry's last really good album was the one that Teenage Dream was on, and her run
She had a lot of singles on that project.
Yeah. And her run's just kind of over. Taylor, this won't bomb. It's not gonna brick because it's Taylor Swift. It's still a moment for her. Mm-hmm. But I'm listening to this stuff, and man, I'm not seeing it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see kind of what happens with this. The writing so far is just all about, and I know the album's called Reputation, but it's all about like the tabloids and the rumors and like everything. I'm just like, ugh.
Jesus, dude.
So we'll see. We'll see with Taylor Swift. NERD is back. No one ever really dies. I'm just happy NERD is back, man. There are songs that people forget about, like Everybody Waiting in the Line for the Bathroom, like How It Goes. There's so many songs, man, that the Neptunes and NERD are responsible for that were really, really solid songs. So I'm happy. They just put out their single featuring Rihanna called Lemon.
And you can tell Pharrell wrote this verse from head to toe.
All of her verses written.
Yeah. She executes.
She executes.
Like Millie Bobby out with the Stranger Things rap.
Millie Bobby Brown.
She totally executed that rap.
She's I'll save that for Stranger Things. But yeah, she killed it. She killed it.
Yeah.
So Lemon, Rihanna's rapping. This won't be a crazy hit song at all, but like it's something. You know, it's something to say, hey, NERD's back.
I feel like it's gonna have a bubble though.
I can see commercials, the right commercials, because it's like there's a bounce to it. I can see Adidas running commercials, stuff like that.
Even in the club though, just playing Rihanna's verse.
Yes.
And then, just quickly mixing into the next song.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like that verse is gonna be pretty iconic.
I can see it. Lemon's out though now, so go get that. So we had Lil Uzi Vert, The Way Life Goes remix featuring Nicki Minaj. This song has been talked about for a while. It's been trying to get cleared and wasn't able to get cleared. And I'm telling you, the original was better. Nicki Minaj does her Nicki Minaj thing. And I don't even think she's horrible. It's just, when I first heard the song, I was like, that's my favorite song on this album.
Yeah.
This is the song on this album. And I didn't want it messed with. And I certainly didn't want it messed with Nicki Minaj. So for that reason, I'm not into it. But
and Nicki's not like, well, never mind.
I'm just not into it.
No, it doesn't. It's not a good fit.
I'm not into it.
Either that or she should have just like sang more.
Yeah, maybe.
This is more like a singy song.
Yeah.
It's not like, rap your hardest verse, Nicki.
Yeah, no. But I think she's trying to do that right now. She's trying to just rap.
That's the zone she's in.
David Guetta and Afrojack, they dropped Dirty Sexy Money, featuring Charlie XCX and French Montana. This song's decent. It's gonna get played and remixed a million times.
All of David Guetta's songs do.
Yeah. Let's see. Shout out to Sabrina Cardio. She's still up here in the iTunes. They're pushing her. That's awesome. Shout out to her. Sean Don and Metro Boomin dropped Pull Up and Wreck, featuring 21 Savage. Metro's working, man. Like Metro, I feel like he's on this run of dropping EPs and songs and projects with people, and I like the way he's doing it. So shout out to Metro Boomin.
Like Ill Will does.
Yes. This is not my favorite thing that Sean has done. I actually kind of thought 21 could have been left off, to be honest with you. But it's just a song. I wasn't blown away. I thought it was decent, but I wasn't blown away by any.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah. Let's see here. I listened to the Max song, Meteor. Wasn't blown away. Vance Joy, Like Gold. I really like that song. Chris Stapleton, Scarecrow in the Garden. He's back to country and not so much of like the country soul on this. I like it. Even the Joji songs on this list, what Dobie just mentioned, called Will He? And I haven't listened to it yet. I'm going to listen to it though. Let's see. Sia is dropping a Christmas album, which is very interesting. I'm going to listen to it though. It's very, very, very interesting.
I did a Halloween, but I go there black.
Black Bear, who we've talked about on this podcast, back.
That song did not leave an impression on me at all.
Yeah, it's called Santa Monica and La Brea. Those are sectors of California. It's just okay to me. I mean,
that's how I thought it too.
Fabulous and Jadakiss, they have been rumored to drop this Freddy vs. Jason product for 5 years now, and it just has never come out, but I guess they're finally going forward with it. The first single is called Stand Up, featuring Future. I don't necessarily know what they think this is going to do, because Jadakiss and Fabulous are like the two quietest people in rap ever. They're very chill, and they don't have like these crazy personalities. So this is going to be a street
used to have
project.
such a good Twitter handle, though.
He used to like go in. He was like one of the first Twitter like
OGs,
people to like go in. Kodak Black dropped Halloween the song. It's kind of trash, if you ask me. Lil Kim is back with Took Us a Break. Wasn't really feeling it either. Hobson's back. I didn't listen to this. Hobson was distracted.
Gosh, I don't get him. I
He's
just
all
don't
over the
get
place.
him. It's
That's for sure.
like, what's the vibe for? I'm not with like witch doctor. Just it's like, why? What are you doing? Like, how's this? He confuses me. I don't.
Willow Smith dropped like a project, and I didn't listen to it, and that's one I do want to go back and listen to because she is a very interesting child.
All of them are.
I think she's gonna grow up and be. Right now, it looks like she's gonna grow up and be kind of a Beyonce's sister. What's her name? Solange. I can see her being a Solange type of person.
You know, I
can
was
see
thinking that before you even said it.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see her growing up and being like that, but I want to listen to it because it's Willow. I mean, I'm gonna listen to anything Willow or Jaden do just because they come from greatness. Lady Antebellum dropped. The song's called Army. I actually don't like this song, to be honest with you. Sci-Hi the Prince, Dat Side, featuring Ye. Sci-Hi the Prince and Kanye West. For those that don't know, Sci-Hi was signed to Good Music for a really long time. He left the label, and for a time, people thought maybe there was some animosity, but this song proves that they're on good terms. Everything's good. The song is not a hit, but I don't mind it at all. Sci-Hi, like Dobie and I know from listening, but like he was always one of the most underrated rappers on Good Music. When Good Music was full and it was Kanye and Common and Pusha and Kid Cudi and John Legend and Sci-Hi, and they had like a legitimate squad. Sci-Hi was the guy that had the bars. Even if you listen to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, he had bars on Monster. He had bars on other songs
He was
that
good.
were like, what?
Yeah.
But you don't realize it.
There's rumors he wrote for Kanye too.
Oh yeah, and I believe him because a lot of people like Kanye doesn't write all of his stuff, but he's one of those people that gets away with it because he's like a producer. Did you listen to anything?
No, that's all.
All right, yeah, that's all I listened to. I think, but I do want to go back to that Willow project. But guys, that was our new music segment. If we missed anything at all, make sure you let us know. Tweet us, Daps_pounds on Twitter. When we post, also you can leave questions under the Instagram comments. We'll check those too. And that way we can say, hey, we listened to this too. We were thinking about talking about this, but we didn't talk about this. You can communicate with us. But moving on, we are going... I just looked over and had no idea what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing either.
We are going to spend the rest of the podcast, the bulk, talking about Stranger Things.
Spoilers. Skip ahead, ladies and gentlemen.
Skip ahead to our top five. If you do not want to hear the spoilers, you haven't watched it yet. Dobie finished it. When did you finish it? Last week sometime?
I finished it on Sunday, so it was
Finished it
Friday,
last
Saturday,
Sunday.
Sunday, and I finished it.
Okay. So we are going to talk about it now. First of all,
Get out.
Yeah,
leave.
leave.
Spoilers.
Bye, leave. Go. Go.
Because let's be honest, most people binged on this show, so that's why we're doing it now.
Yes, facts. I agree with you. So I have to say, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I was a fan of it.
Let's get it out of the way. Episode 7 is straight trash. And Twitter would agree.
Twitter did not like it. Although, when I was watching it, I did see some people that liked it. I watched the Beyond Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Did you see any of it?
I'm not done with it yet.
Okay, and they were even saying that like
The writers were excited about it.
yeah, and I could tell that they just wanted to do something outside of that world that they had kind of created. We've talked. I think that they're going to come back to her sister.
Oh yeah,
her sister's
season
going
3
to be involved in it.
Apparently, the writers said that there's even like they have space for like 6 seasons.
I see. I don't want them to go that long.
Yeah, the kids will be grown up by then.
Kids are going to be grown up. Eventually, people aren't going to want to do it. I'm good with shows getting out while it's hot, and I hope they do that. I hope that the next season or 2 is like the last. I'm good with maybe 4, but I don't want them to keep doing it so long. I'm going to say I like this season more than the first season. I think that the character development on this
hot
was
take.
good.
No.
I do.
The character development was definitely better, but I think it was more like in depth. Dustin seeing his mom, seeing like little things with her was awesome.
Yeah.
Steve, I mean,
Steve
he's
came around so crazy. Yeah.
everybody loves him now. But I liked him in the
So
first
crazy.
season because you could tell like he was trying to change at the end of it.
Yeah,
and
the
so
end of
I
it
was
was
like,
good.
you know what, his character's really cool because he's like usually you think he stays a certain way, but then he actually ditched the people who made him that way.
And I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but in the Beyond Stranger Things, they say that this was a case of the actor influencing the character because he was
Well,
supposed
there's
to
multiple
be
characters.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be like kind of a dick throughout, and he really like they saw who he was. They're like, all right, we got to turn him. Like we got to turn him babyface. So it was interesting seeing his turn. Let's just R.I.P. Bob, man. R.I.P. Bob. Like Bob. Sean Astin from the Goonies, man.
Best character in the show.
That moment when he was like, "What are you gonna do? Go look for treasure?" And I popped. I was like, the Goonies. So shout out to him, man. Bob was one of those characters that he was essential to a lot of the things they did. I understand why.
What's
they had
his
to
name
kill
as an
him.
actor again?
Who? The real guy's
Yeah.
name? Sean Astin.
So they said Bob's character was not supposed to be that lovable at all.
No.
Like, so when he dies, like, you're kind of sad. But they said, like, him just as a person just influenced that character so
Yeah.
much. Like, he was supposed to be a way more nerdy, less charming character than he actually turned out to be. Which honestly made it more impactful. But I was so mad. I'm like, yo, I understand for writing you need it, but like, who stops running? Like,
Oh my
keep
gosh,
running,
bro.
dude.
And it was crazy so when he opened, so set up the scene, he was running from one of the Demodogs. He was in the closet, right?
Right.
And when the doctor said, okay, it's clear, I was like, he's going to open the closet. It's over. He's going to get killed. So I was setting myself up for him. They swerved me because as soon as he got out, I was like, wait, they're not right there? They're not going to kill him? So he's running, and then as soon as he stopped, I was like, oh, they took me. It's done. It's done.
When he stopped and he froze and he looked at her, and I was like, yeah,
it's
over.
It's over.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Bob, man, you will be missed. Shout out to you. But I think as much as it sucks that he died, I think it's awesome that we have something we get to remember his character, like as that. We don't have to like have him turn or be weird. It's done. It served its purpose. It was sick. R.I.P. Bob, you will be missed though. Mad Max, how we feel?
Mad Max is fine. I don't have any issues with her as a character. I feel like it's a good, and I feel like season 3 with her and 11 are going to be very interesting because there's animosity already there. Even though there's no need for animosity, like she doesn't realize like Mad Max was not trying to like push on Will or anything.
Yeah. I think Mad Max's brother is amazing.
Really,
bro? Like Bob is my favorite character because it's
I feel
Bob.
like you love that scene with Will's mom.
Bro,
I feel like
that was. So I grew up on John Hughes movies, Breakfast Club,
yeah,
all those movies, and like all those '80s movies have that Stacy's mom type of thing, and like to see that right now and him pull it off, and the one earring hanging, and everything was so lit, bro. He's perfect.
Yeah, but
He's
he
perfect.
plays like crazy well.
Oh, he's a great actor.
Great
actor.
He's like really good at playing that.
He did his thing. When when they were fighting,
he was like,
I was like, "Oh, you are a classic white guy. You were just like you are a classic white guys when they get hit like and they're drunk or like something. They're like, yeah! And that's why the black guys go bang because we cannot do this. We're not doing this. But yeah, it was I forget his name in the show, but Mad Max's older brother to me was amazing.
Okay.
And if it wasn't for Bob being great, then I would think he's the best new character because I loved his influence on the whole thing. It was just a new like vibe. He acts so much older than he is in high school for that time, but it works because if you think about the 80s and back in that time, like there were people looking like grown men like walking around in high school. So I like him. I like his character.
I like the scene with his dad.
I think we're gonna go somewhere too. I think that's where they gave that. See, and that again, a new character the first season would never have that much character development. But in this season, we saw him come in and he was the a-hole of the show. And then we got why, and we got him reacting to it and how he gets over it. And we got him putting it out on his sister and why he treats her so bad. All within the same season. So that's one of the reasons why I like this season, because they really kind of went deep on a lot of people. But I love him as a character. He's great.
Now... might as well just go down the list.
Let's go.
Might as well pull up the character list just to make sure we don't miss
Character
anything.
list?
I mean, because it's a longer show, I guess. We'll just have to end it after this almost. We might have to do our top 5 later.
You might have to.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. We are really big fans of Stranger Things. Now, how'd you feel about 11 with Chief?
With Hopper? I liked it. I couldn't tell where they were going, if like they were gonna like twist it and make it that's her dad and like all that stuff, like she's really Jane who like was missing and stuff like that. Like that I think they've left murky enough to turn into something later. Before the season started, a lot of people were like, I bet Jane is 11, and like
I never thought that.
Bro, that's what a lot of people on Twitter were saying. So then when you first see her in the house with him, you're thinking like, maybe he knows. Maybe that's why he kept her.
I always thought about it, and I think that this is where it led up to. I really liked where this was. Now, I think 11, even though the situation that they're in is dangerous, it brought something back to Hopper.
Yeah.
Because he never really got over it.
For sure.
And now, though, since 11 went and saw her mom and everything, 11 doesn't have a mom.
Yeah.
Never really truly had a dad. So they both, lost something and together through this like hard situation. And now I think at the end of it, that scene when they're in the truck, they really understood each other more on that level at that point.
Yeah.
And so I think next season it's going to be a lot more. There's going to be more freedom, I think, for the both of them in the characters.
It just makes sense that they're linked now.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it just
100%.
makes a lot of sense.
But that's how I was thinking about it. Not that, this is Jane, but he said, him as a person, you could tell he's just like, do the right thing kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so no one else was going to do it. So he took her under a wing. And I think eventually he grew a respect for it. I
think Dustin is a star.
Dustin.
I think they gave him time to like show his comedy on this.
I want to know how he becomes though growing up, because some kids, they're like childhood actors and they just fit that role really well, and when they grow up it just isn't there anymore for them. So I hope this is fine. But they even said, the writers said that there's only one Dustin. There's nobody else like this kid at all. So that's why. I mean, even him doing the purr thing, he said that was his idea. So that's awesome that you have writers and directors who allow these actors to continuously make their character their own.
I think Mike was miking in this. He was full Mike mode, and he annoys me sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Like Mike can annoy me with his stress levels, but overall, he was him.
Do you like seeing his stress level come out on Hopper at the end of that scene? Like,
that was
finally
great.
It's out.
Yeah, that was great. And I like how Hopper did the right thing and hugged him and like said, "Yeah, get mad at me. Like, do what you gotta do."
Because it was 11 and Will. And at that point, they didn't know what was happening to Will yet.
Yeah.
So like Will might die still at that point. So there's just a lot going on.
Wasn't a lot of character development for Lucas.
I felt like he got more shine in this one, though.
He definitely got more shine for sure. And he has a
knight in shining armor.
He has a girl situation now with Mad Max. We saw that at the end finally come to fruition. But he's still his same character. He's gonna keep doing Lucas things. Same thing with Winona Ryder's character Joyce, which is Will's mom. She is still in full Joyce mode. The same like worrying like parent thing type of thing. But I'm wondering where her character's gonna go because, like, I was watching and thinking, like, man, she's gone through a lot. Like, baby daddy screwed up. He's out of the picture. Will gets attacked. There's like that issue.
I feel like
Bob's gone.
It's either gonna be the exact same or she's gonna have a firm foundation. Like, I can handle anything now.
Yeah,
You know, there's two ways that happens.
I'm wondering
people.
what it's gonna. I'm wondering what it's gonna. Which one's gonna be. I like her. Some people on Twitter are really annoyed by her. No. I actually really like her.
Sure, she was perfect in season 1.
Yeah,
like perfect,
amazing. And it's funny because like relatively, this show was full of unknowns on season 1, except for her because she's been acting for a long time, and her acting like really shined on season 1 because she was obviously a veteran. And on this, I loved like not noticing that as much because I was like, everyone else acting has like risen now to a level. Will, I think, is the most underrated actor of the show.
Yo, that scene where they put him in the like the interrogation room.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Will is like, man, he's gonna have some trauma of some sort. Like he's a good actor, man. He's a really good actor. I was convinced, like, yeah, something's in him. He's burning. He's, something's going on. So shout out to Will. I do hope that season 3 sees him being able to be one of the crew, though.
Right, yeah,
and
100%.
it not going after just him. I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, like, okay, we're done with Will. Like, can we please move it on? And I'm excited to see his dynamic in the group because in the first one, he wasn't around long enough to see his dynamic. In the second one, he was still recovering from what happened, and then he was possessed. So it's like, we didn't get to see him. I want to see him interact. I want to see him be one of the gang. So that'll be interesting.
By the way, coloring scene... Shout out to all the hours that took putting that set together. That's amazing.
That's nuts.
By the way, I just thought that was really cool. Hopper is still one of the best characters in this show.
Hopper's great. I think you need Hopper. Hopper brings in the audience because my dad like came upstairs when I was watching it, and he was watching a little bit, and he saw Hopper, and he saw like his police jacket on, and like he was watching a little bit, and he was like into it, and I could tell Hopper is the guy in the show that you need. You need Hopper to bring in that male audience, that older male audience that's like watching this with his kid or with his wife or with his girl that's like, oh, that reminds me of John Wayne. Yeah. That reminds me of he's the old cowboy. Like, that's true. Hopper's that guy, and I think he's able to connect for people. So I like Hopper. I like Hopper a lot. Nancy. Most iconic scene for Nancy. The bathroom scene when she's drunk. And she's like, this is bull. I'm telling you, that scene was amazing.
Yeah, it was. She did seem drunk.
I loved everything about that scene.
Even for Steven.
Steven was great in that, bro. I was on Twitter, and I was like looking up stuff like when I was watching it, and people were like, that's my new motto in life. It's bull. It's bull. And I was laughing. And girls are like, next time boys give you trouble, just be like, it's bull. This whole thing is bull. And like, you believed that you were watching a drunk girl. Like she reacted like a drunk girl. And Steve was Steve, man. And like, I just really rock with Nancy's character. I like her a lot. I like Nancy.
I don't like Jonathan.
He's a little weird. By the way, though, the table scene when Nancy and Jonathan finally hook up.
Yeah, and he's like,
how's the pull out? Yeah. Like, I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but on the Beyond the Stranger Things, they said that it was an accident that the eggs dropped. And they just kept going.
Oh, with him dropping the egg on the floor?
So like he picked the egg up.
Though. I actually thought
what was crazy, I was like, how did they do that? Like, how did they like make sure the egg dropped? And like,
I was like, that looked like an accident, and they kept going. Actually, that's so funny.
It was perfect because he goes, "Oops." It was just a perfect part. Perfect scene. That whole sequence was really great. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Jonathan kind of freaks me out. I think I would be fine if Jonathan is the person getting hurt a lot in the next season. It's just how I feel. But it was interesting. Steve is Steve. We talked about him a little bit already.
I like him and Dustin a lot.
Yeah, him and Dustin. I think they have a good bond. And it's so funny because I was watching Beyond Stranger Things and I was watching it afterwards. But while I was watching it, when they had to meet and they were down the railroad, once again, 80s movie, Stand By Me, and they said it, I was like, it wasn't just me. They did it on purpose. Because Stand By Me is one of the best movies ever. So Steve is Steve. I like Steve and Dustin's relationship too. Billy is the name of Mad Max's older brother. He did an amazing job. Really like him a lot. I think that's all the majors, though.
Yeah.
That's all the majors. So, overall, Stranger Things 2 was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think it was solid.
Did you like the ending with the snowball room or the ballroom scene? So at this point, let's see here. You feel like, we might as well just talk about the climax of it, too.
Okay.
So, I will say this. The most iconic scene to me in this whole thing, 11 coming through that door.
Bro.
Dude, that scene
was so hard.
Perfect.
That was so hard.
Was perfect.
That was great. I loved it. 11 comes through the door and everyone has their guns and bats or whatever ready to get who the demi-dog or like whatever is outside, and it's 11 and everything stops, and then you get the embrace between 11 and Will, and you're like, whoa, this is some trippy Corey Topanga type. Like, you feel like the moment. They did a good job filming that.
Yeah, I felt like that scene was really good. Do you like how it was ended? So she was saying you got to close the gate, and then they find that out, and then they go down there, and she uses her power, and then of course she calls back to the scene from Chicago going there. So I feel like they said like that was necessary for her to meet somebody who's like her to take her to the next step. So she's calling upon that anger and everything. How did you feel about that scene as a whole? Do you feel like that was a strong ending?
I thought it was pretty strong. But I kind of, obviously visually I didn't know how it was going to end, but I predicted that it was going to have to come to her using her power. I knew it was going to be 11 saving them. I just didn't visually know how it was going to look. But what I thought we might get the sister payoff sooner. I thought maybe the sister would come back and find her.
I did too.
And I thought that she would help, get rid of the Demogorgon or the, what are they calling like the big thing now? Like the overall big thing in the Upside Down.
I don't remember.
Looks different. It's called something. I forget what it is called. But
Demigod?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, it was a Demigorgon.
Demigorgon was like the first thing in the first season, and then the Demi-Dogs were like the little ones.
I don't remember. It was from the D&D thing.
Yeah, it's from D&D. I just can't remember what it's called.
Which I love that they throw in D&D
They're
references.
all about D&D. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty strong ending, and I liked the snowball and how it ended or whatever. Once again, I'm 27 years old, and I found myself rooting for kids. Like, I was like, yeah, get the girl, like, yeah, and I'm like, I had to like afterwards. I was like, I just really rooted for them super
Will's
hard.
got this random chick.
Dustin killed it though with the hair.
Yeah,
his hair was so crazy. When Steve dropped him off, he was certified good guy. He completely turned babyface. It was amazing.
Yeah. At that point, every girl was like, "I want a boyfriend like Steve."
Right, Steve. Yeah. No, what was funny on Twitter was the back and forth. People were like, "Jonathan, yeah," and it's turned into a Edward and thing. What wasn't it? Jacob?
Yeah.
Team Edward, Team Jacob. Bro, I saw some Team Steve, Team Jonathan things like.
But Team Jonathan has always been there for her.
Exactly. And like Steve is like, yeah, he's bad, but like he's good. Like it was just so much, dude. It was so much. But yeah, Steve was great in that scene dropping him off. The hair was so lit. And then he goes and asks old girl, she didn't want him. Nancy comes and dances with him. I wanted it to not be Nancy. I wanted him to get a different girl. Because Nancy's obviously like not really into him because there's an age difference, but he got the girls to see him doing it, so they're probably gonna like him now. So
you know what I want to see? I want to see Steve like playing D&D with the kids, and then them being like this scene where they're like, somebody's like, "Why are you hanging out with like these kids?" Like, I'm concerned or something like that.
Yeah.
But like Steve's like,
Yeah.
you just don't get it. Because, you know, if you go through something like that and nobody else knows about it, then
Oh yeah, only
there's a
you
certain
guys
connection.
can.
I just
only you
feel
guys
like
can get it.
they can do so much with him and that group now. You
Yeah.
know? And I'm really interested to see how him and Billy's going to turn out.
I am too. I want Billy. I think
Steve can't get his butt kicked twice. That's just
No.
not good TV.
No, Steve can't get his butt kicked twice. And it's crazy how his character turned because in the first season, he was like the butt kicker. Like, he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, drop
This
your
is what's going to
camera.
happen. I'm calling it right now. Season 3. Something's going to happen with the whole, like, paranormal Demogorgon stuff. Billy's going to see it. Steve's going to be the one to step up to, like, take action. And Billy's going to be the scared one. And so Billy doesn't beat him up again.
I can see that. I
You
can
see what
see
I'm
that.
saying? Like,
I can see that, and also, bro, like, so for so long before you see the dad and mom part of it, and before Max told Lucas, like, yeah, our parents or whatever, I don't know, for whatever reason, I was thinking, like, well, they came out of nowhere, maybe they're possessed, like, maybe Billy is like, before I got the breakdown.
oh, yeah.
I was
I
like,
see what you're
maybe,
saying.
because there was no reason for him to be that angry.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe like
Oh, that'd
it's
be
in
wild.
him. Like maybe he's like, because he was like, stay away from that kid. Like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, but he was in a hot shower.
For sure. He was in a hot shower. Later, I was like, yeah, that couldn't be. But before I got the breakdown, I was like, maybe he's like from the,
Still
the
thinking,
upside
you
down.
know?
Interesting. Oh man, great
Good,
season.
so good.
I liked it. I can't wait for Stranger Things 3. I think it's gonna be good. I don't
The
know
darkness
when we're
is
gonna get
looming.
it. Have you seen these fan theories recently about like it being them older? Because the dude who plays the Incredible Hulk, the actor who plays the Incredible Hulk, he
Okay.
was like, he put out, they interviewed him. That's what started this thing. He was like, I would like to be an old Max and have them in the future and then go like flashback, like do a bunch of stuff. Or Mike, excuse me, an older Mike. He liked to be like the geeky Mike kid. And then people were like, wait, what? What if they did that? Like, what if like they had all characters like when they're older and like everything? I don't think that they're gonna do that.
No.
at all. But I was thinking about this too. The child star and putting them in big budget stuff. I think that Stranger Things has really brought that back.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Millie Bobby Brown's out of here.
Well, people forget, what was it?
She's so mage.
The Steven Spielberg's movie that had kids. That was really underrated and it was really well done. It was Film 6 or something
Oh
like that.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yes, I think this has definitely brought that back.
Millie Bobby Brown is going to be a star
Yeah.
for sure. I think she's out of here.
But she kind of reminds me, and you never know how long they last, though. That's
Yeah.
the crazy thing with acting. Some people are just like, yo, I
I can
got my
see her
money and I'm
aging with
done.
it. I can see her aging with it. I
Yeah.
can see her going with it for a while. She's pretty versatile
For
from what
sure.
I've seen. So, Stranger Things too, man. Good stuff.
We're fans. If you're fans, let us know who your favorite character was. Let us know what your favorite moment was. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up in the comment section on YouTube below. I'm thinking we might put this up on Facebook as well. Just the
Yeah.
Stranger Things spoiler cast. Talk about it.
Good convo.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Daps and Pound Show. I need to get my book. We can't end it not like the right way.
You have to end it the right way. Is it over here? Can I grab it?
No, it's not over there.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's up here.
Okay.
I gotta find it.
You gotta find it.
We are the only way we know how.
Guys, next week we will do the top 5 that we're gonna do this week, and we're gonna end this way, the only way we know how. That's 101 conversation starters for couples.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I think we did the subject in school last week.
Okay. Yes, we did.
If you could take a course in any subject right now at your local college, what type of course would it be? I think graphic design for me, just to get my hands like back into.
Subject in any college right now?
Yeah, local college, just a subject. I would go back to graphic design.
There's a school in Texas, this is super random. There's a school in Texas that does a Tupac.
Yeah.
They do a Tupac course and they go over
It says
like
local college though, but whatever.
oh, my bad.
No, keep going. That's a great
But yeah,
answer.
like they have his old manuscripts and like poems and stuff that they go over. That'd be interesting.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be interesting. Other than that, just business
We
courses.
took graphic design class together.
Yeah. We took graphic design class together.
Remember we built websites for a while, learned coding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we were in this coding class and like I didn't know how to code and like for whatever reason, I like
You did struggle with
dude
that
like
class.
at the what's crazy is like at my old job and like some of what I do now is like I code now.
Right.
It's so weird. Trust me, it is very limited HTML. I am not this guy who's like this is CSS plus. No, I am not that guy.
JavaScript.
But I do code. But back then, for whatever reason, like I think it was just boredom. Like, but
That teacher was weird.
he was really bored too. He was really boring.
No, remember he was like full of himself, talking about his bikes and stuff.
Oh my gosh, he was.
He was the guy with like really long hair too. And
I was. I just couldn't get my mind to do it. So
that was the class you learned I was hangry.
Dobie's really hangry. He gets really hangry if he doesn't eat at a certain time. He's like a gremlin. And I would just cheat and like use Dobie's code. I just cheat and use his code. So I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it. So he went into I had him go into one of my files and do all the code, or like he like sent me the code for like this test or something. And
Dude, how do you remember this stuff? I have such a bad memory.
He sent me the code for this test, right? But the code still had his name on it. I didn't change the name. And I submitted it. I submitted the code, and everyone has the same code, so the only way you know like whose it is if it has their name or number or whatever. Well, he hands back the sheets for everybody, and mine had a 0. And the teacher, professor, whatever, like leans down and goes, "You clearly cheated. If it happens again, you're gone." And I was like, "Whoa."
Did I get a 0 too?
No, you were fine.
What? My name
You were fine. You were fine. Because you remember we were all saving it in the same like folders, so I could have just gone and gotten your code. It wasn't. We all could have gotten each other's code. It was like
That's
a
right.
honor
It was
thing.
a
So
local
like,
sharing
it
system.
didn't look like it was like an FTP site. It didn't look like anything else. But
Dude, I don't remember that.
I remember.
Was that
it.
because
I
your
remember
first
it.
0 that you got in college?
Probably my first.
Good
0.
times.
Good times.
Well,
I remember not
really,
being
but,
mad at all though. I was just kind of like, "You're gonna fight me," so like, I don't know.
You can't lay hands on me, so
You got
what are we gonna
hands,
do?
so like what? Like give me a 0, whatever. I pay you. Anyway, shout out to him. I hope he's doing well. But guys, this was the Daps and Pounds show, best darn podcast in the world. My name is Malky. To my left, we have
Dobie.
Represent 2 mics,
2 friends.
and 1 show,
The Daps and Pounds show.
Woo!
Take it easy.
Shouts to the shout out
Gang, gang, gang.